Hello, beautiful earth angels. Testing, testing. I don't see my mic moving. Oh, here it is. Thank you. Okay, good. Perfect. Let me turn Instagram on. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, there's sirens. Welcome to Earth Angels Unite. Excuse me, podcast 161, your knows Clairfragrance. So Clairfragrance means clear scent, and it's an intuitive channel that allows you to receive messages from your soul and your angels through sacred scent. Often it appears as a mysterious smell that is not physically present in the moment. While there may be a message in the scent itself, the deeper purpose of Clairfragrance is to interrupt overthinking, worry, rushing, anxiety, and bring you fully into the present moment, which is where your angels are. Clairfragrance is the gentle tap on the shoulder that says, slow down, pay attention. There's something here for you. It's often a precursor to an intuitive download that will come through one of your other intuitive channels. And so happy Tuesday, happy June. We're in the June portal. We are 3 weeks away from the summer solstice, the longest day of light. Can you believe it this year? This universal year one is Fire Horse year is flying by. And I'm delighted to be here with you. My intention with these podcasts is to create a space of transformation, that you come one person and you leave transformed. And my mission, so for those of you who are new to me, my name is Jill Kempner, and I'm known as the angelic pain relief expert. And I'm on a mission to heal the pain of the world one soul at a time, and really to help you glow from the inside out. Say hi if you're here. So my mission is to serve and lead highly sensitive, highly intuitive souls to transform their pain into peace and become calm, clear, and confident with angel love and relaxation. So this is my passion. This is my mission. This is my focus, is to help you heal your pain once and for all, to help you glow from the inside out, because we've taken that what's heavy, leaden, or painful in your life and turned it into spiritual gold. And we do that through the alchemy formula. We do that through the relax, release, receive process. And today we're talking about the lightest clair of all, Clairfragrance. And oh, thank you, angels. So, I'm here to help the earth angels, the empaths, the cycle breakers trust their intuition to the next level. Because when we trust our intuition, which is how our angels are communicating with us, we can heal any pain, right? And as this morning in my meditation, I saw something really interesting, and I'm going to explore this more, but it's coming through right now. When I was laying in Shavasana, which is the final relaxation pose in yoga. Hi, Komisha. Good morning. I saw my angels looking at me, and I saw the pain. I didn't have a lot of pain in my body, but they showed me that pain is like this little dark spot. And actually, that little dark spot inside of us, the angels' job is because they're beings of love and light. They're pure light, right? They're pure love. They see dark and they bring light. And I was like, oh, that's what you mean about your pain being a portal. And I was just like, whoa, I've never heard it quite like that before. Hi, Marie. Good morning. Welcome. So anyway, just a download. So happy June, happy blue full moon. We are on the last day of the full moon cycle, and there's been so much healing, illumination, culmination, celebration. So I hope that you have set your clear intentions and have had just a beautiful experience. And if not, that's okay. You're here for some self-care, because I really see this time in my podcast as a time for you to be with your angels, a time for you to relax, release, receive. So you set that intention as well, right? Set the intention that you're here, whether you're here live, whether you're here connecting with the replay, that you are receiving more love than ever before. Okay. All right. So let's go into the teaching. So let me just listen because I felt like the angels were saying something. So I'm teaching a class, an in-person workshop at Sacred Ground about this topic. And I love talking about it before leading up to the class because it allows more downloads, more medicine, more refinement to come through. And for those of you who can't be there in person, this is a slice, right, of the workshop itself. So, and I'll talk more about that later. So clairfragrance means clear scent, right? And I link that to smell, scent, smell, and also taste. Some people create another clair for taste, but I feel like they're so intimately connected, and just to be like, my job is to simplify. So 5 clairs is enough, right? That's enough to get the message. So clairfragrance means clear scent and is connected with receiving messages through smell and taste. It is the intuitive channel that allows you to receive messages from your soul and your angels through sacred scent. So often clairfragrance shows up as like a mysterious or out of the blue scent, smell, that is not actually physically present in the moment. Okay, that's one of the ways clairfragrance can show up. And what are those scents, right? A lot of times people associate clairfragrance with flowers, and it's true. However, and also because it's connected with Archangel Jophiel, and one of her symbols is the rose. So smelling roses out of nowhere is absolutely a clairfragrance moment, and we're going to talk about what that really means. But some of the other smells are your grandmother's perfume, cigarette smoke, baking bread, cotton candy was one of my clients experienced cotton candy every single time we meditated with the angels. And she's like, what the heck is going on? I said, that's your clairfragrance scent that you know the angels are here. It's so unique to you. And chocolate chip cookies. And for me, what just happened yesterday, fruit, like strawberries. Okay, Komisha, fruit. For me, yesterday, what happened, it was so beautiful. I was taking a nature walk. Yesterday was my father's birthday. As many of you know, he's on the other side. He's been there for a long time. And, it was his birthday, and I was just outside enjoying nature, doing my nature walk, saying prayers, and I smelled cattails. And the cattails took me back to a childhood memory, one of my most favorite memories of my time with my father and my family at the rock quarry. And I was like, oh my gosh, of course I'm going to smell cattails on his birthday as a way to remember him, and not to remember, there was a lot of sadness, there was a lot of pain, there was stress, there was trauma, but to have a good memory felt really, really nice. And I took that as a sign, right? Now, of course, my clairfragrance channel is super attuned because I've been thinking about it and talking about it as I prepare for the workshop on Saturday. But it was a beautiful, sacred moment that really touched my heart. So I wanted to share that too. So remember, your intuition is your direct line to the divine. There's no mistake that 4 of the 5 clairs are in your head, right? And along the center channel connected with your chakras. Because that's how, right, this is how your angels are communicating with you. So your angels are always communicating with you through your physical and psychic senses. It's not only in times of peace, right? It's not only in meditation or when you're on retreat or when you're in nature. Okay? It's every day, all the time. But here's the thing, we need those quiet times for us to learn, practice and learn how our angels, your individual angels, are speaking to you. Let me know if that resonates. Say hi if you're here. So they're constantly trying to get your attention, right? Through signs, symbols, synchronicities, and sense. But understand that all of that is indirect, well, except the sense, right? The signs and the symbols and the synchronicities are actually indirect guidance, right? Oracle cards, numbers, angel numbers, which many of you know the angels speak to me through license plates. The indirect guidance, the goal of indirect guidance is to awaken, to bring us back to our direct channels, right? The clear cognizance at the crown, clear thought, the clear the clairvoyance at the third eye, clear vision, the clear audience at the ears, clear hearing, the clear fragrance at the mouth and throat, and the clear sentience, the belly, right? Gut feeling, clear feeling. So the goal of indirect guidance, of those signs and those symbols, is to bring us into the now, to bring us back to our direct angel guidance, which is the ultimate goal. We want to directly connect. We don't want to need anything from the outside to connect. However, the signs are often validation of our inner knowing. Oh, that's right. Yesterday I was channeling. Was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before. Oh yeah, yesterday. I was channeling an idea for an upcoming offering. And as I was channeling it and the words were coming through and I was linking these things together, I saw a butterfly and I was like, that's it. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. This is the exact download I'm supposed to be having. And it just was such a validation, right? Of what I was already feeling and knowing. So I hope that resonates. I'm getting downloads. And of course, the full moon, right? The moon cycles affect us empaths and earth angels at such a deep level, because it's amplifying our ability to receive our intuitive downloads. It's amplifying all of our intuitive channels to the next level. So, can I see what the angels are saying? So your olfactory system is one of the most grounded and embodied ways for your angels to get your attention. Smells bring back memories, like I talked about with my father and the cattails. Smells remind us of important milestones and experiences. Smells evoke feelings, and those feelings are the magnet that draw the experiences to us, towards us. So from the angelic perspective, clairfragrance is less about the scent itself. Although yesterday, for me, that was very potent, right? The smell of cattails and the memory and the happy childhood memory on my father's birthday. I mean, synchronicities abound. And more about presence. The scent is think about the scent as the interruption. The scent brings you into the now. And now is where your angels are, right here, right now, sending you love, messages, healing, downloads. Right? The ever-present infinite now. Which is actually the safest place for us to be, right? Your heart, the now, your body. Thank you, angels. So, hold on, before I go into the shadow, the angels are saying something. Let me listen. Yeah, let me do this first. So sometimes the scent, we talked about this, right, is the message, like it was for me yesterday. Sometimes the scent itself carries meaning because it brings us back to that memory, a person, a season of life, or an experience that's asking for our attention, our healing, or understanding, right? The smell of grandmother's perfume, fresh baked cookies, cigarette smoke, roses, a hospital, the ocean, ooh, I love that, may immediately connect you to a memory, an emotion, a part of yourself that's ready to be seen, loved, and held. Like, oh, I love that. But even When there's meaning in the scent itself, the deeper purpose is of clairfragrance is often the invitation, right? The scent interrupts the noise of daily life and brings you into the present moment. It asks you to pause, pay attention, and become receptive. So clairfragrance is the signal clair. In that moment of presence, your angels can more easily communicate with you through your other channels. So whenever I have a clairfragrance moment, I literally stop in my tracks. I say, thank you, angels, for drawing near at this time. And I pay attention to my thoughts, my inner vision, my inner hearing, my inner feeling. Does that resonate? Does that make sense? Clairfragrance is often that gentle doorway that opens the way for an intuitive download, a feeling, a knowing, a vision, a message to come through. The scent may also be the message, but more often it's the invitation to become present enough to receive the deeper messages that follow. So that's honestly the biggest teaching, right? That's the biggest teaching for today. Of course, okay, so I'm listening to the angels. They're saying something. Okay. So now let's talk about the shadow of clairfragrance, because you're a soul having a human experience, right? Your soul agreed to have a human body, the limitation of a human body. Your soul agreed to have the limitation of the ego structure and the duality of the earth plane. These are things you signed up for, that you agreed to. And so with that duality, we have the beauty of the clairfragrance channel. Archangel Jophiel is the guide of that channel, the supporter of that channel, the nurturer of that channel. And we have the shadow. Because clairfragrance is connected with the major chakra, the throat chakra, which governs the throat, lungs, vocal cord, mouth, teeth, jaw, tongue, all of this, right? And the nasal passages is all connected. The shadow of clairfragrance is unworthiness, shame, unworthiness, impatience. There's a few more in there. Disgrace, embarrassment, humiliation, those energies. Also swallowing or suppressing your voice, your truth. Okay. So there's several there's several shadows that this clair experiences, which is why what I'm hearing from the angels, we'll talk about that a little bit too, but like this is one of the reasons why this channel is easily blocked, because a lot of us sensitive souls struggle with unworthiness, right? Not only from religious programming, but also from social conditioning, familial, ancestral programming. Say hi if you're here. Okay. All right, let's see. Angels are saying something, so I'm listening. Hi, Urban Athletica, Pam, Anja Mertens, 23. Welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so why this channel matters, right? Clairfragrance is often dismissed because it's so subtle. It's gentle, it's lighthearted. But this intuitive channel is often the doorway to the message you've been waiting for. Many times clairfragrance is that first signal before an intuitive download arrives through one of the other channels. It helps you pause long enough to notice what your soul and your angels are trying to communicate. So why is this so hard? There's a couple reasons that came to me. So most of us were just never taught about this intuitive channel, not as children, not in school, and not even in many of the psychic development classes. So simply becoming aware that Clairfragrance exists can activate it. So you just hearing this now, it's like, ooh, I can't wait to hear more about your Clairfragrance experiences. And if you'd like to share those with us, because I know that I am connecting with people over the heart waves through YouTube, and not everyone is local, right? And can come to my class on Saturday at Sacred Ground. But I do have a Facebook group called the Angelic Cycle Breakers Community, and you can join us there and share your insights and downloads. And I'm always adding value there. So I'd love to connect with you there as well. So it's also difficult. Here's another reason why I feel like we're not aware of this channel enough. It's difficult because we're bombarded with information, right? Noise, busyness, distraction, stimulation, overstimulation. So we're moving so quickly that we miss the subtle messages trying to come through. And here was something I talked about yesterday in the Oracle Monday about caring versus carrying, right? Mistaking caring for carrying. As empaths, we're often mistaking caring for carrying. We carry more than our fair share. We carry other people's emotions, expectations, pain, and energy. And when we're overloaded, the subtle channel becomes harder to connect with, receive. Let me know if that resonates, if that makes sense. So I think we're also conditioned to believe that louder is better, bigger is better, more dramatic is more important. But Clairfragrance is the whisper. It requires patience, presence, and it requires slowing down enough to notice it. So recently, Clairfragrance showed up for me through a Crohn's disease flare-up. I was struggling with gut pain, inflammation, and discomfort last month. And the angels are saying nasal issue. I'm just getting a download. Sinus problems, nasal issues, throat issues, tonsils issues, throat is also considered a shadow, right? Because the shadow is not only energetic, it's physical. Ooh, thank you for reminding me of that. Angels, you're the best. I was like, as soon as I started talking about the physical, right? As I often do, I brought the pain that I was feeling in my gut into the alchemy formula. And for those of you who are new to me and this, my message and my medicine, the alchemy formula is invitation plus devotion plus intention plus R to the third equals alchemy. And invitation, devotion, and intention literally takes 2 minutes, right? We invite the angels, we devote to that connection, we set our crystal clear intention, and then the relax, release, receive process takes us to the end result, which is the gem. And I think we need to, I'm going to be talking about the alchemy formula for my entire life, right? This was a download I received this year as I was promoting and marketing my Angelic Alchemist program. And it's a godsend. Because it works every time. So I brought my pain, the gut pain, into the alchemy formula and asked my angels for a deeper meaning of the pain and the gems hidden inside of it. And I've been continuing to ask this question. One of the things that I intended this year was to heal my Crohn's disease, right? To really get all the gems from this issue in the tissue. And what I had realized was I was carrying a lot of pain, emotional pain from my mom's death, from what I was calling the dash, the time between her diagnosis and death, right? That year that I was her primary caregiver. And then just all the stuff I was holding on to in there. So the message I received about this, about the pain, because I knew better than to be like, how do I get rid of this pain? How do I fix this pain? How do I, right? That's not the question I needed to ask. The question I asked was, what lesson am I learning from this pain? What is the gem of this gut pain right now? Not by spiritually bypassing, not by suppressing, not by numbing, but by listening. And so the message I received was surprisingly simple: slow down. Then another message came through: savor the food and savor the moment. And I was like, oh, that's very Clairfragrance. That's very Jophiel. Okay. At first, I thought this guidance was simply about digestion, right? But as I listened more deeply, I realized that it was about even more than that. I had fallen into the old trauma pattern of rushing through meals, eating mindlessly, eating while distracted, and moving from one thing to the next without being fully present. As I continued to listen, I discovered the deeper gem that was hidden underneath the pain. The message wasn't simply eat slower. The message was, I am safe to slow down, and I am worthy of taking my time. I am worthy of being present with myself. And I realized that scarfing down my food was actually the shadow was feeling unworthy. Let me know if that resonates. So I began following that guidance, right? I started putting my fork down in between the bites. Actually, the biggest thing I did was put a timer on. So I put you're actually supposed to eat between 20 and 30 minutes, lunch and dinner. And I put a 20-minute timer on, and I don't always get there. Sometimes I finish in 15 minutes, but I'm doing it much more intentionally, and I almost have no pain. So I took a breath, I drank water, I chewed more slowly, I paid attention to the experience of eating instead of rushing through it. Now, this wasn't something that was totally brand new to me. I really love a lot of the Buddhist teachings, and there is a whole teaching in both yoga and Buddhism about mindful eating, slow eating, right? Taking 3 breaths before you eat, right? Smelling the food, savoring the moment. And this was my up level, was just to savor my meals. And I was like, wow. And within a week, my pain dramatically reduced. The inflammation calmed, my stomach felt better, I enjoyed my food more. I feel like I'm eating less and feeling fuller sooner as well. But perhaps the greatest healing was that I felt more connected to my body, my stomach, my digestion. I wasn't just nourishing my body. I was practicing worthiness, presence, and self-love. So that's one of the beautiful things about Clairfragrance. The message is often simple, gentle, practical, and grounded. But hidden inside that simple message is often a profound healing. The scent, the signal, or intuitive nudge is often pointing directly towards the place where your soul is inviting you to grow, to heal, and to receive more love. So I just love that. So one of the most powerful ways that I help my clients is by helping them trust their intuition, which naturally strengthens their connection to their angels. So people hire me as their angel coach to heal that pain once and for all, to take that pain, the lead, the heaviness, the trauma, whatever it is, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. I help people through the cancer journey. I help people with PTSD. I help people with autoimmune issues. I help people with chronic pain see it differently. Invite their angels, love, healing, messages, medicine, wisdom to alchemize the pain. So we're not spiritually bypassing it. We're not suppressing it. We're not exiling it. We're not numbing it. We're bringing it to the light for healing. And I understand how courageous that is, how vulnerable it is. And it's an honor to walk by my client's side as they do this. And I'm their cheerleader, and their angels are their cheerleader. Okay, so remember, your angels already know how to heal your pain. The answers that you're seeking are not somewhere far away. They're already here in your heart, in your body, in your subconscious mind, in your energy field, and in the loving guidance of your angels. So pain relief solutions are often much closer than we realize through the relax, release, receive process. Oh, thank you. This isn't a quick fix, right? This isn't take a pill and you're better, right? Although I believe in medication, absolutely, as a means to an end, right? And as support. But this is a lifestyle. And through the relax, release, receive process, daily meditation, and self energy work, I teach my clients and I support my clients on how to slow down enough to access the wisdom, guidance, healing that are already available to them. This is my honor. So I teach my clients how to channel healing angel energy into their body every day while they meditate. As they relax and receive, they begin to receiving the messages, not just hearing, right? Because it's all the channels, right? That's why I like to say receiving the gems and the medicine that their soul and angels have been trying to share with them all along. So this is where we slow down, simplify, and soften to access the energy, to access the medicine. Say hi if you're here. So I have a free consult, and I'd love to have that conversation with you. So I have something called an invitation to the Angelic Pain Relief Consult. So this is a heartfelt and compassionate space where I'm listening to you and your angels. And again, I understand how tender, how vulnerable, how courageous the choice is to meet for this consult, right? I have so much compassion, infinite compassion for what you're going through that would have you reach out for help and support. And I'm going to share what your angels are saying about your pain. This is going to create a moment of relief. The consult itself is a moment of relief. We're going to get clear on the highest vibrational fuel and intention that will heal your pain. We're going to pull an archangel that will help you. And then together, we're going to create your customized roadmap to relief. So my goal is to meet you where you're at, because that's what the angels do. That's their gift. They meet you. You don't need to change or be anyone or anything differently to heal your pain. And I realize I didn't show you my book, so I'll show it to you in a little bit. To access your angels. You don't need to change to access your angels. They'll meet you where you're at, which I really love. So I currently have several consults available in June. I will be on a family vacation this month. So I just have a few available, and I'll put the consult link in the comments. So please, angels, remind me to do that. Thank you. All right, so Jophiel, she is the medicine of PPP, patience, presence, and I changed it from, I'm not sure if I changed it from palpable to purpose. I think palpable. I meant to look this up before I got it. So this year, when I was channeling for my Angel Reiki immersion, which I will be having another one early 2027, I'll be talking about that this summer and bringing people into that immersion experience. I got this awesome download that all the 16 archangels that I'm writing about in my upcoming book that I've been talking about that are in the Angel Reiki program have a frequency, right? And Jophiel is the medicine of patience. Patience, presence, and I want to say palpable, but I feel another P came through, but it's okay. It's all perfect. So let's do a little activation with her for your Clairfragrance channel. And then I'll pull a card for you. So closing your eyes, taking a gentle breath. Let's welcome your angels here. So let's invite your guardian angels, Archangel Jophiel, your whole A-team to guide, surround, direct, and protect you for your highest good and highest healing. So we welcome Archangel Jophiel, the angels of Clairfragrance, the angels of patience, the angels of wholeness, the angels of worthiness. Place your hands on your heart and say either silently or out loud, I am devoted to receiving love and clarity from my angels. Take a breath, let your heart open, let your mind open, and then set your intention to receive more love than you've ever received before. And then ask your angels, loving soul, loving angels, what are you inviting me to release so I can open this channel, Clairfragrance, to the next level? Pause and listen. Listen and trust. There you go. Loving angels, what are you inviting me to receive so I can heal this pain, this wound, this trauma, this fear once and for all? So I heard releasing pressure and receiving, patience for me, which was one of my cards this month. So now letting yourself relax in this now moment, softening the shoulders, your jaw, your belly. And then releasing whatever you've been holding, whatever you've been carrying. Releasing the wound, the worry, the pain that you've been holding into the arms of your guardian angels. Jophiel has the color of magenta. So I feel and welcome her magenta light to fill your aura, to fill your throat chakra, your Clairfragrance channel. Beautiful. And then we're willing. We know that the releasing happens in layers. So you may feel emotion, you may feel your body need to move or twitch, you may feel like you're in a deep state of stillness. It's all perfect. And then we ask, what lesson am I learning from this pain? This wound, this issue? For me, I heard pressure. What am I learning from pressure? I'm willing to receive a gem. What is the gem in this pain, wound, fear? Right? We're not forcing it. We're allowing it. And it's okay if it doesn't come right now. Let yourself receive. Messages, love, healing. So Jophiel stepping in with her magenta light as she radiates patience and worthiness into your throat chakra. Yes, opening up that channel to the next level. It just feels so good. Her heart opening to the throat chakra. Taking a deep breath in. Bringing her frequency of patience, of presence, of palpable, of purpose into the now. Allowing the Clairfragrance channel to open to the next level. Trust what you receive, what you sense, what you smell. Trust what you know. And what I'm hearing is thank you for the scent, the sacred scent, that when I smell it, I know that you're giving me a message. I'm willing to receive that now. What scent is my signal that you're here, that you're giving me a message, that you're revealing the gem? So Jophiel, bowing to you, your guardian angels giving you a hug as we bring our hands to our hearts in prayer mudra, bowing to each other in our own hearts. We dedicate the healing that you've received today to all our relations in all directions of time. Sealing our inner journey with a namaste. Namaste, my friends. Okay, so that was so beautiful. Yes. I'm going to pull a guardian angel card to seal our time together. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to put this card back in the deck. As I mentioned earlier, yeah, what scent came up for you? Mine was still flowers, roses is going to be my scent. I sort of heard like a little Palo Santo too. So I was like, oh, okay. Hey, Liz, you're welcome. Good to see you. So I will be at Sacred Ground this Saturday, June 6th, 6/6, from 3 to 5 p.m. For the Knows-Clairfragrance class. And what's going to happen in this class, what we're going to do together is we're going to talk about intuition. We're going to talk about Knows-Clairfragrance and the shadow of Knows-Clairfragrance. I'll be sharing some personal stories to anchor in this channel. And then there's going to be an activation from Archangel Jophiel to align your Knows-Clairfragrance channel with your guardian angel's love so you can trust this channel to the next level. And then we're going to nurture this channel, strengthen the channel by doing partner work and sharing divine messages with each other around a specific pain point. My goal is that you leave feeling calm, clear, and confident. My goal is that you leave with a gem, right? That you leave more confident than you came in about this intuitive channel so you can trust yourself like never before. So I would love for you to join us. There's still openings. I'm going to put the link in the comments as well as the consult link, and I'd love to see you there. I also send this replay in my newsletter. So if you're not on my newsletter, you can go to my website, jillkempnerhealing.com. At the bottom of the page, you can sign up for and receive my newsletter. So you get all of the replays and all of the upcoming classes directly to your inbox. I am going to be adding a new offering in the summer, a free offering that I'm going to be talking about next week. So get into the cycle breakers because they're going to hear about it first, community. Okay, how is it you are receiving and trusting your Knows-Clairfragrance to the next level this week? Let's see what your guardian angels are saying. My favorite, compassion. One of the things I say is compassion is always the answer. So this week, the more gentle, the more compassionate, the more kind you are with yourself, your inner world, your pain, your wound, the more your Knows-Clairfragrance channel will open. And actually, this reminds me of one of my wildest dreams. So I did a blue moon ceremony and I named my wildest dreams. And believe it or not, it was actually really hard to figure out what they were. That was the hardest part. But once I did, I decided that one of my wildest dreams is to have zero judgment and infinite compassion for myself and others. And that I'm on a mission of that. So this feels like a total synchronicity to the message I received. So be gentle with yourself this week. Be compassionate with yourself this week. And you know what the angel said? Start saying, I fully trust my Knows-Clairfragrance. Because we're going to be saying that, right? When you say that, you activate it to the next level. So thank you for reminding me about it. I didn't forget here. And we'll include that in the activation on Saturday. So I'd love to see you and your angels there. Be so gentle and loving with yourself this week. And I will see you soon. Namaste and love. Mwah. Bye. Bye. Thanks, Liz, Komisha, Marie, Critical Thinker, Ajna, Anja, Pam, and Urbana Athletica. Namaste. Have a great week.